I joined ISRO in the year 1985 at Master Control Facility Hassan. That was a center which controls many of the geosynchronous satellites. I took over as Deputy Director for Spacecraft Operations, and then subsequently I became Director of ISTRAC, where we had to land Chandrayaan 3 softly on the moon. That was a very great occasion for me.
Can you give five interesting findings in the history of space research that many people are not aware about? Hello, sir. I welcome you to the Crazy Careers podcast. Thank you so much for joining us in today.
Thank you, Nita. I'm also very happy to be with you today to at least share what I can share to the younger generation of India, and who can learn so many things what ISRO has achieved till date and what we are planning to do.
Right.
Yeah, thank you.
So, sir, before we get into the actual conversation, would you mind letting us know a bit about yourself, your journey so far, and also the work that you do currently?
Yeah, Nita, to share with you, I joined ISRO in the year 1985 at Master Control Facility Hassan. That was a center which controls many of the geosynchronous satellites like INSAT, GSAT, and these type of satellites. So I happened to be in an area where we are controlling the satellites, and we have to monitor the health of the satellite and take actions in case of any emergencies. So I started my journey in that direction, and subsequently in '98 I came down to ISTRAC, Bangalore. ISTRAC is also similar to MCF, but it's handling more of low Earth orbit satellites and interplanetary missions. And in future, ISTRAC is also going to handle Gaganyaan mission. So I came down here and started looking forward for working in again satellite control area. And in the course of time, I have really come up in the organization, in the designation, as well as in my research, and I could achieve many of the things for ISRO, and I could contribute. And at the same time, I was also given a lot of promotions, and I took over as Deputy Director for Spacecraft Operations, and then subsequently I became Director of ISTRAC. Really, I had a great time as a director of ISTRAC, where we had to land Chandrayaan 3 softly on the moon. That was a very great occasion for me, and it was a most challenging time. And this is how my life went on in ISRO. And as you know, any government servants retire at the age of 60. So I had to retire last year, October, and I'm continuing to be part of ISRO because the knowledge and the experience what I gained, ISRO always gives a lot of encouragement, and they have designated me as a professor, and I'm a lot of consultation to all the new projects.
Absolutely great experience, I would say, and I'm sure that the students and audience who are watching this podcast will gain great experiences from your journey. So, sir, we all know that our audience base is students. So, I would like to start this session with a question that will really excite students. So, I wanted to ask you, can you give five interesting findings in the history of space research that many people are not aware about?
Yeah, that's a very nice question, Nita. See, as you know that I want to say proudly that one of the most important discovery, that is water is present on the moon, was made by our own Chandrayaan. As you know that Chandrayaan 1, when we launched in 2008, and it was it had a moon impact probe which went and at the south pole of the moon, it went and hit, and there was an instrument which was trying to detect the water molecules, and we could find out that there are water molecules in the moon. And this is an important discovery from the one of our ISRO satellite and ISRO mission. So I really want to say very proudly, this is one such discovery. But you asked me to give five discoveries. Of course, there is not only such discovery, there are many other missions conducted by other space agencies, which I would like to share to the younger generation. For example, if you see the birth and death of stars are really being monitored from the space missions, not only from ISRO like ASTROSAT and other instruments which are present in space from Chandra X-ray, Chandra telescope, and recently launched new telescope. And there are many such instruments which are doing so much of research. And we all have a big doubt where from we have come, what is the source, and how did the universe form. All
Yeah.
these, it's one of the Big Bang theory which is being talked about everywhere in our textbooks. But really, we have to see how to prove that. And that is how the second part, I can say that many of these missions have given a lot of information on this expanding universe, the redshift, what is happening. And these are all because of the observations from many of these telescopes from the space missions.
Yeah.
The third discovery, I can say, is the real happening of the reactions on the sun. You know that Aditya mission we have launched. Of course, before us, many of the NASA, ESA, they have launched many of the satellites. And it is very nice to hear. Even today, when I saw the newspaper, there is some finding about the sun, what is happening. And there are a lot of information flow today. And today, if you see Aditya L1 being in the Lagrange point, it is able to give a very good information about sun and happening, like there can be coronal discharges, there can be electromagnetic storms. All these things we are able to tell in advance, and equip ourselves on the earth to encounter such phenomena. So this is another important discovery according to me. Of course, today, the fourth important, I can say, though, in the earlier days, the human civilization has gone into an extinct stage because of
Mhm.
the storms and, many of these, whatever weather phenomena happening on Earth. But today,
Yeah.
I think the space applications are giving such a wonderful information about weather, and it is giving well in advance. Even when the storm is forming over the depression is forming over the ocean or sea, you can immediately alert and continue to watch where the storm is moving and what direction it
Yeah.
is going and where it is expected to
Mhm.
hit the seashore. All these informations are told 2 days in advance. So that is the wonderful part where we can alert that civilization or the people who are there in that area, ask them to evacuate, and see what best we can save the lives of the people. So this is, I
Yeah.
feel, one of the wonderful, uh, I can say, an application discovery from the space. And as you
Right.
know, you are staying somewhere, I'm staying somewhere. I'm able to converse with you as if though you are sitting in my room. That is another, technology which has really come through the space. The technological developments,
Absolutely.
for example, there are n number of technological developments. I think many of us would have already installed solar panel on our house tops to generate the electricity. Where from this solar panel technology came? It came from space. Okay,
Yeah.
so the space, as you know, the satellites, when we launch, it has to have power to power the systems what is there in the satellite. So where from it gets
Mhm.
the battery, as you know, always it can maximum whatever storage you have, it can deliver that much, and after that it goes dead.
Mhm.
You have to recharge the battery, and even your mobile phone you have to keep recharging every day. But in
Yeah.
space, I don't have a possibility of recharging without having a power source. So the major source which is coming from solar sun energy, I think that is being effectively now utilized on earth. And renewable energy has become such an important thing that we save the carbon on earth. This is also again a very, very, I can say, technological revolution. Due to space, we are able to have a better life on Earth, and reduce your
Yeah.
carbon emissions. And electric vehicles have come today. And I myself was trying to do a research whether I can have a solar panel on my car and have a battery and run as much as possible using the solar energy during the day hours. And those days are not very far. So as you see, these are all going to revolutionize the life of the civilization and the people in the days to come.
Yeah.
I think there are so many such discoveries which I can talk for hours. And
Right, right.
I think the younger generation should really learn many things from the space research.
Absolutely. The beauty of space research is it blends with our day to day life so easily that we all are using those discoveries in our day to day life, but we all don't know that has come from the space research.
True.
So, even that awareness is also needed. Our younger generation should be aware. It is our responsibility to make them aware. These are the things that has come from the space research. And coming